Welcome back to a brand new episode of Dolphins HQ right here in the Baptist Health Studios. The Dolphins are back at Hard Rock Stadium for the first time in 266 days. You can look it up. I already did the math for you guys. They'll welcome in the New England Patriots as they kick off a 3-game stretch of AFC East matchups, 2 in primetime and 2 here at home sweet home. First things first, finding a way to keep recent trends rolling. The Dolphins have won 4 straight over New England, 8 of the last 9, all 7 of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's starts against this division foe. For the Fins, it's all about the bounce back. Week 1 can be fickle in the NFL, and both these teams are trying to ensure that the results from their first game will shift back to the winning side of things. Miami, of course, fell in Indianapolis, while the Patriots lost 20-13 at home to the Las Vegas Raiders. Everything will be new for the Patriots this year. Head coach Mike Vrabel is back in the NFL after 1 year away following his tenure in Tennessee. His offensive coordinator, a familiar face as well, and Josh McDaniels, who returns to the Patriots for his 3rd stint as the play caller there. They paired their stud defensive tackle Christian Barmore with another in Milton Williams. They added Mike linebacker Robert Spillane and Vrabel's former top quarterback chaser in Tennessee in Harold Landry. The Dolphins will need to find their running game and absorb the power the Patriots can play with up front. The Pats' other big free agent signing came at the cornerback position in Carlton Davis. The biggest roster activity to watch this week, however, is at the other cornerback spot. Christian Gonzalez is one of the best in the entire game, but he missed week 1 with a hamstring injury. The Dolphins need Tua and the offense to be sharp, and hopefully he can repeat his 2024 performance at home against that Patriots team when he threw 4 touchdown passes. The Miami defense also had a big day last October when the Patriots were in town. Chop Robinson was all over New England quarterback Drake May, but he has a pair of new tackles protecting him this year. In 4th overall pick in this year's draft, Will Campbell from LSU, and longtime veteran right tackle Morgan Moses. The Dolphins need to make May uncomfortable and contain electric rookie running back from Ohio State, Travion Henderson. This is a big game in the AFC East as the winner will emerge from this contest feeling pretty good about themselves at 1-1. And for the Dolphins, nothing makes a short week as the team travels to Buffalo for a Thursday game up in Orchard Park sweeter than a win on Sunday. For this week's Opponent Spotlight, presented by GoV, longtime friend of the show, Taylor Kyles. Taylor, I want to go ahead and start here, Taylor, because we knew about a lot of change this offseason coming for the Patriots, right? And that's what kind of happens when you get the rookie quarterback on the rookie contract and you can start building out the roster around him. And in week 1, that can be challenging to draw big conclusions from, but I want to try to have you do that for us here. Offensively, what stood out about the offense for the Patriots as a whole to you? And Taylor, if you can, let's take it from the perspective of what worked and maybe what questions exist from that first performance for the Patriots offense here.
Well, I think I was kind of hoping for, Drake May in his first game in this Josh McDaniels system, was hoping for more of a Mac Jones kind of debut. I'm sure Dolphins fans remember back in 2021, Mac Jones just comes out and is slinging it. He's getting them into the right plays, putting it on guys. I still think that might have been his best game as a Patriot. Didn't quite get that from Drake May. And I think the biggest thing was inaccuracy in decision-making at times. Early, he definitely seemed a little bit too amped up, passed up some decisions, ran at times where I didn't think he really should have. Also kind of put himself in positions to take hits that these coaches have been like, hey, man, you got to protect yourself. Those are kind of par for the course with a young quarterback, especially in a new offensive system. You learn what you can and can get away with. That I'm not too concerned about. But the inaccuracy for Drake May was something that was pretty concerning for me. And one of my biggest takeaways was there were too many gimmies that he wound up sailing over guys' heads, or even completions where he put it to the wrong shoulder for his receivers and kind of took away yak opportunities or forced them to have to make difficult adjustments.
To kind of follow up further, and sorry to be redundant here, but I'm just so fascinated by the Josh McDaniels entire coaching arc, going back to the same place multiple times. Do you think his offense, I know it's only 1 game, but you got a chance to watch camp, is it kind of more the same, the kind of complex side adjustments and ability to uncover quickly and the quarterback to be really, Tom Brady-esque at the line? Has it evolved? Like, what would you say this McDaniels version of the Patriots offense kind of, what's their calling card, I guess?
There's definitely a lot of carryover, and we're even talking about here, is that the best thing for Drake May? Is he the kind of guy who, like a Tom Brady, is going to be able to dink and dunk and consistently hit guys in stride, like I said, creating those yak opportunities? Or is he more somebody where you want him to drop back and have opportunities to go downfield, where his play really does shine? So It is a lot of the same Josh McDaniels stuff, but you're also seeing, especially in the run game, they started peppering in some more use of Drake May's legs. You saw some zone read, and I expected there was going to be some elements of the Cam Newton offense going back to 2020. Even saw something we didn't see with Cam Newton, where you got the power read option where you can either hand off behind a pulling guard and you leave somebody unblocked, but they also had Antonio Gibson as a shovel option on the play, which was a new wrinkle there. So you are seeing some new things. There was a bootleg, some moving pockets for Drake May. They still move the pocket a bit with Tom Brady and Mac Jones, but I think we're going to get more of that with Drake, even though there was just one boot. So a lot of the same from Josh McDaniels, not a lot of wholesale changes quite yet, but you did start to see the run game starting to incorporate more things that use Drake's athleticism.
On the other side of the football here, talking about the Patriots defense against the Miami offense, again, one game, but I am curious how much of what Mike Vrabel's defense looked like from a schematic standpoint that came with him from Tennessee to the Patriots. Was it similar, different? Give us the kind of Josh McDaniels breakdown that you gave us earlier on the Vrabel defense.
Vrabel blitzed a ton, and part of that was because their four-man rush wasn't consistently getting home. Part of that is Geno Smith, a guy who does a great job getting the ball out on time, not putting his offensive line in bad situations. Milton Williams and Harold Landry were pretty dominant. Christian Barmore didn't quite look like himself yet, missed last year with blood clots, so you understand. Didn't play in the preseason too, like they've been kind of keeping him on a plan, so might be a ramp-up period there. And also Kayvon Chason and Keon White as the opposite edge rushers weren't very consistent. I think they only combined for like 2 or 3 pressures. So the four-man rush wasn't getting home, but when they blitzed and you started seeing them use twists and stunts and different things to kind of get guys looping and using Milton Williams especially to get attention and free up other guys, that's where they had all their success. Like they had 4 sacks. All 4 of them came with 5 or more rushers and usually involved some kind of stunt up front.
He'll have a big test on Sunday against Patrick Paul, who looked fantastic in his Season 2 debut here at the left tackle position for Miami. And I'm curious because you talked about Barmore and Williams, and man, watching Milton Williams and the way he can kind of cross face as the one shade and fire into that like a one gapping penetrator. When you watch players like that, they are kind of like a blessing and curse against the Miami Dolphins, because when the Dolphins get it like taken care of and they can get their outside zone game going, those players get removed from the equation and it turns into an explosive run most of the times. But it also sometimes creates negative runs that get you behind the chains and starts a different, catalog of issues for the offense. I'm curious how you think the Patriots, in terms of their style, might attack the Dolphins' protection scheme, because it was some good against the Colts, but a lot of their pressure disrupted the Dolphins' passing game. Do you see a similar approach for the Patriots up front?
Yeah, so I have a feeling they might dial back some of the blitzes and just rely on their guys because the injuries up front, obviously the inexperience at some spots as well. I think they're just going to say, hey, Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, like wreak havoc on your twists, one-on-one opportunities, because like Tua is not really Geno. And also if you blitz the Dolphins, like what are you doing? Because Tua's getting the ball out so quickly. A lot of the times you'd rather play coverage so you can get as many people in areas to try to bring down some of these fast receivers, obviously Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So I would be surprised if they blitz quite as much. I mean, you put all your money as the Patriots into your defensive line. Harold Landry's making a ton of money. Milton Williams is getting paid more than any player in Patriots history. And Christian Barmore is also making a pretty penny as well. So that's where your money's at. Let those guys off the chain. In some instances, again, like the Raiders, where they do have a guy like Colton Miller, who's been there, done that, is very experienced, and a great quarterback like Geno, it does make sense to try to mix it up because you got to get pressure somehow. I just don't think the Dolphins pose the same threat. So I'm hoping, again, they're a bit more conservative in their rush plan.
You can find his work at Patriots CLNS and on social at TKyles39. Taylor, you're not only a great dude, but a brilliant football mind. One of my favorite follows on Twitter as well. We'll see you down here Sunday, my friend. And remember, long sleeves in that press box.
Yes, sir. I learned my lesson.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate you. That will do it here for this episode of Dolphins HQ from the Baptist Health Studios. Don't forget to check out the Drive Time podcast, hosted by yours truly, available 5 days a week wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to the Dolphins YouTube channel for new episodes of Mic'd Up, Coach McDaniel breakdowns, media availabilities, and our brand new series, Under the Sun. With the short week next week, no new episode of HQ, so we'll see you in 2 weeks to get you ready for Monday Night Football against the New York Jets. Enjoy the home opener, and we'll see you then.